to project national identity. In addition, we think about the ways in which buildings and their histories may have different meanings to a diverse range of publics. Revivals of classical and Gothic architecture have been particularly popular, especially in the 18th and 19th centuries. But we find that the reasons behind these individual revivals were different, and resulted in buildings that are quite distinctive in their reinterpretation of the architecture of the past. Such was the enthusiasm for the classical past, that the image of whole cities was recast. We also see how the romantic view of former times extended beyond architectural style to represent sets of social and cultural values. The idea of home is an architectural concept familiar to all of us. My third chapter explores examples ranging from the medieval hall to the high-rise flat. This chapter examines the different types and attitudes towards housing in Britain. We see that there are common threads across the centuries, some of which might have been anticipated, others not, enabling us to make unexpected connections. The importance of both privacy and green space is intrinsic to our understanding of the idea of a home, no matter how grand or modest it may be. Perhaps more complex is what the density of dwellings, both in terms of occupancy and their proximity to each other, reveals about the relationship between housing and social class. We also see how architecture has accommodated patterns of living for a diverse range of occupants across centuries and social divides. Britain's architectural relationship with the world can be explored on many levels. In the fourth chapter, we discuss the long-standing tradition of the porosity between British architecture and the rest of Europe. We also consider how British architecture was established as a presence in the world well before the work of star architects such as Zaha Hadid, Norman Foster and Richard Rogers. The fifth chapter also introduces the theme of the projection of national identity in a global context, not only through Britain's colonialist expansion, but also in the architectural design of festivals and exhibitions held at home. This final chapter also reflects on the shifting nature of architectural practice, as evidenced in this book, and on the changes in our understanding and definition of the profession of architect, especially as it gradually evolves to become a more inclusive category. Inevitably, the choice of examples in a short introduction to such a vast topic has to be selective. Indeed, I am conscious that the term British is not without its historical and present-day contentions. As a consequence, I use the term here fully cognizant of the shifting political and national geographies of the British Isles. Most importantly, while embracing these caveats, my intention is to open up possible avenues for further exploration and to provoke different ways of thinking about British architecture in all its complexities. Chapter 1. What do we mean by British architecture? What is architecture, and what makes it British? In answer to the first question, the renowned 20th century architectural historian Sir Nicholas Pevsner, in his Outline of European Architecture 1943, famously remarked that a bicycle shed is a building. Lincoln Cathedral is a piece of architecture. He goes on to observe that nearly everything that encloses space on a scale sufficient for a human being to move in is a building. The term architecture applies only to buildings designed with a view to aesthetic appeal. I wonder if these statements are entirely true, and if this is a helpful way of thinking about British architecture. In this very short introduction, I explore the question of what is understood by the term British architecture, and how it has developed and changed as regards its indigenous and foreign influences, with a focus on the medieval to modern periods. The chapters explore the ways in which British architecture is distinctive across the regions and nations within the British Isles, as well as in a global context. My aim in this introductory chapter is to provide a framework for the thematic exploration of British architecture in the chapters that follow. I use specific examples as a kind of set of chronological stepping stones into British architecture.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.